Dog looks a little traumatized. Dog's like, can you please help me? Tim's like, yeah, smile. He's like, I don't want to smile. Someone save me. I'll go back to the shelter. I don't care.
We don't need to build a wall. And by definition, just plain speak, basic English language definition, it is not an emergency.
She said when she ran for president that she wants to eliminate private health insurance on the job. 170 million Americans, John.
Yeah, I mean, that is not her position now.
How do you know that's not her
position? I mean, she no longer supports Medicare for all.
This is a new scandal. This is from Dustin Grage, and he's been great on this. So he has been just unloading on Tim Walz. He's from Minnesota. I believe he ran against him at one point or something to that effect, but he's been a great follow, has all the goods on Tim Walz. And he dropped this. He says, you know, yeah, this is Tim Walz tweeting about his dog Scout. Only problem is these are two completely different dogs. And so the right took this, obviously, and is just going bananas with it, as they should, because it's scandalous. 1.5 million views. And the left is saying, this is ridiculous. You can hear this fella and others. We've got Ron Filikowski and all the rest of them. You know, this guy, Yashir Ali, he's another left-leaning fellow. How are some of you still alive with critical thinking skills like this? He says, here's the explanation, okay? It says, Walz has a ton of social media posts and press photos with Scout, the black lab. Now, the dog in the tweet on the right is just a random dog that they met at the dog park. He's not identifying the dog as Scout in the tweet on the right. Oh my gosh. So you might be looking at this, so he's saying this, and others, right, all the people on the left, you guys are idiots. And so you say, oh, okay, so this is just a regular old dog, you know, some dog, this dog. In other words, this dog on the left is the real dog. That's actually Scout, okay, because here's the post. We go back to Dustin's situation. He says, okay, here's post number 1. He says, all right, it's from Tim Walz, and Tim Walz posted this on 6/15/2022, right? And he says, sending a special birthday shout out to our favorite pup, Scout. Dog looks a little traumatized. Dog's like, can you please help me? Tim's like, yeah, smile. He's like, I don't want to smile. Someone save me. I'll go back to the shelter. I don't care. So, all right, he calls this black lab Scout. But what's so curious about this is this next one is here, another photo of a totally different dog. And it kind of looks like there might be a leash action. What is this orange leash here? Is that attached to Tim in some way? I don't know. But it says, couldn't think of a better way to spend a beautiful fall day than at the dog park. I know Scout enjoyed it. Now you say, oh gosh, just another dog at the dog park. Well, I don't see the black lab anywhere at all. So that's not very appropriate. He's getting sidelined, not even in the photo. And what's so curious about this is, first of all, this entire tweet was deleted after this story broke. So Dustin Grage, he says, hey, Justin, guess what? Tim Walz deleted this tweet. Why did he delete it? So that Scout didn't see it? Scandalous. Yeah, very scandalous. And what you'll notice here is that Tim Walz and someone else posted this emoji, which references the dog. So it's clearly a scandal in the making. Couldn't think of a better way to spend the beautiful fall day than at the dog park. I know Scout enjoyed it. And he uses the emoji to match the dog. Just like we saw over here, the emoji matches the dog. Isn't that fun? Now there's more to this story. We also have the Scout scandal goes deeper. What happened here? How did this dog grow so much? He posted this on 6/8. He says, happy National Best Friends Day from Scout and me to you. And it's a picture of him with this baby dog. And then suddenly we fast forward from 6/8 to 6/15. And the dog is now being traumatized on the balcony of his governor's mansion. So you can see it's just scandal after scandal with this fella. Now I think in all likelihood, these are just dumb staffers who are posting these photos, right? And so this is probably just an old photo of where he got the dog. And this is probably a newer photo. And they're just using old photos. But this one is a little bit strange because the dumb staffer actually matched the emoji. Just used the wrong dog is what I'd guess. It's just the wrong dog. But it's pretty funny. And so people are dunking on him for that. And he deleted the tweet. Why, oh why is he part of this Scout cover-up? So we're poking fun at him for it because the dude's just a liar in general. So every time there's a little bit of a lie, he's going to get called out on it. And they're under a lot of scrutiny here. In fact, the Kamala Walz team released a new border video. And the border video, as you'll notice, this new advertisement, it's a campaign ad saying Kamala is very good on the border. She secures the border and she'll secure your border too. Well, what's so interesting in this campaign ad, there's all these videos of a border wall in her campaign ad. So why are they referencing a border wall if it's so racist and their administration literally stopped it from going up? Okay, Biden stopped it from going up. She went down there to fix the root cause, as the borders are, wasn't able to do anything. Does she support Trump's wall or what? Anyways, the media is now calling her out on this, surprisingly. This came out from Matt Whitlock, brutal ABC News clip from this week from John Carl, walking us through this, asking the very good question. What's Kamala's position on a border wall? Does she want more of it or no?
But if you take a look at that ad, one thing that I found striking is if you look, and I think we have the images here, there are at least 3 points in that ad that show the border wall, Donald Trump's border wall. Is it now the position of the Democrats that they favor the border wall?
We don't need to build a wall. And by definition, just plain speak, basic English language definition, it is not an emergency.
He talks about this wall. I always say, let me know how high it is. If it's 25 feet, then I'll invest in the 30-foot ladder.
You'll invest in the company that's trying to break America's border. Is that what you said, Tim?
Just that we have to build a wall across our southern border because there are terrorists who are trying to invade the country. It couldn't be farther from the truth. It couldn't be farther from the truth.
Yeah, so hopefully the media starts playing those clips over and over again, because Carl is exactly right. Why is she using border walls in her campaign ads if she hates them so much? Well, it's because they work, and she's trying to reinvent herself as a Republican or something, trying to, I think, fake that they like America and security and all these different things that we heard them talk a lot about at the DNC. They almost sounded like Republicans. They're even wearing camouflage now. Huh? So here's Tom Cotton, and he was also on with John Carl talking about Kamala Harris and her disaster policies. Here's what that one sounded
Trump
like.
is going to draw a sharp contrast with Kamala Harris, who has supported things like decriminalizing illegal immigration or giving taxpayer-funded health insurance to illegal aliens or taking away health insurance on the job for 170 million Americans, banning gas cars, confiscating firearms.
These are all positions. What do you mean taking away health insurance? What are you talking about?
She said when she ran for president that she wants to eliminate private health insurance on the job for 170 million Americans, John.
Yeah, I mean, that is not her position now. She knows.
How do you know that's not her position?
I mean, she no longer supports Medicare for all.
Maybe anonymous aides on a Friday night have said that, but the last thing that she said on
this was not a radical convention. I mean, as you heard me go through with Bernie Sanders, she is not taking positions of the far left of her party. She's clearly making an effort to move to the middle.
I did hear what you said to Senator Sanders, and I thought it was clear that he's very disappointed that she's taking these efforts not to change her positions, but to hide her positions, John. The American people are totally justified to conclude that Kamala Harris is a dangerous San Francisco liberal based on what she campaigned on the last time she ran for president and what this administration has done for the last 4 years. Again, you would have thought watching the Democratic convention last week that the Democrats are not in office, that they're not in power, that they're campaigning against an incumbent Republican.
Wild.
When
and
in reality, she's been part of the failures of the Biden-Harris administration for 4 years. And when she campaigned for president in her own right, she did in fact promise things like decriminalizing illegal immigration and taking away her
that's his position she's clearly changed on, and she has said she has changed. Yes, she has.
No, she has not. John, she has not said that.
What are her positions? You still go to her campaign website, there's nothing on there. She has no positions. So they all just try to keep covering for her. Well, no, she's changed it. To what? Can you show me where her policy is, what it says specifically? Can you show me some documents? No, they can't, because she doesn't have any, because it's Kamala. And they're going to try to do this tabula rasa, this blank slate campaign, and everybody can ascribe to her whatever they want, and then she'll just be a communist when she takes over, obviously.